Okay, people, we are back. We got another one. I'm on Gainesville 100, man. So you already know, like I told you, this travel and the culture, man. We do this. If you if you ain't looking outside of a hotel, 8 floors up, and in the mountains, and you don't see eagles flying, you don't see bears running down your mountains, it ain't traveling. You know what I mean? If we on the beach with some pina coladas and the waves is touching your toes, and you ordering the drink, and the waiter can't speak no English, you got to pull out your translator. That's traveling, correct?
Right.
Right. So you know what I mean. If we in the city and you ordering some food, you looking at the menu and you ain't never seen it before, and you got to ask the waiter, "What's that in English? What's that?"
Yeah, get that flavor.
Yeah, and that's traveling, baby. So you know what I mean. I'm Gainesville 100. I want to welcome y'all to episode 3. You're gonna be traveling the culture, where we talk about everything, traveling and our culture too. So we got a lot of guests coming for y'all, but I got my man KC McDougal. You know what I mean. He's gonna tell him a little bit about himself. I've been knowing him for years, and we ain't even never met each other. Just our travel adventures, and us peacock and putting up what we do. You know me, him being in Brazil, whether it be Colombia, whether it be, all over is what he do, man. So, but that's what we do. That's how we know each other for years, correct?
Yeah, man, you're right.
And
Definitely,
I mean,
been a pleasure, man. Been a opportunity to get to know you, man, because you putting out good content, and it got me more motivated to want to travel. So I had to do that.
for sure. So, won't you introduce yourself to the new fan base you about to have, and and we'll take it from there.
My name is Carlton. Call me nickname KC McDougal. I'm just doing my thing with traveling. Just started out in the last few years. I traveled with some other brothers, in a group that this local group I call like the local DMV group in the Maryland, DC, and Virginia area. And what I'm saying, we I was really passionate about traveling since my late 20s. So I always wanted to travel. What I'm saying, it just was like a something new to me, but also it was like it was exciting because my dad, he was a military man, and he traveled. What I'm saying, he used to tell about he had like scrapbook where he met different women and traveled to this place, he went to Vietnam, stuff like that. And when he was in the military, he went to Germany. He said he knew how to learn how to speak German. I mean, he showed pictures, albums, that women he met. So you could tell from a guy from his 20s on up, it was just like this has been going for years. So you can tell it's worth your time doing.
No
But
doubt. So, how was it like growing up, though, bro? Where you from? You from the DC area?
yeah, I live near DC, but I live in
Yeah.
Maryland.
Okay, so you was out of the suburb. You was in the bad area, but you was in the suburbs. You live pretty good.
Yeah, I would say I've been around people who grew up in the tough areas, but was friends with
Yeah,
them, and I grew up in a good environment, but I never looked down on somebody. We all got to
right,
come from
right,
somewhere.
right, right. So how was you in school? How was your grades, man? What was you like at school? You was the athlete, the player, the nerd, and the normal guy. What was you in high school, man?
That was kind of like interesting question you hit me with. I was kind of like both in between. I
Okay,
had a nerdy look, but I was athletic at the same time. Like I never was picked
okay.
last when it came to playing sports.
that's, a,
So
that's a good one right there. Yeah, yeah,
that's
no
all.
doubt. Hey, so what was your plans? After high school, what did you want to get into?
I was hoping to try to play football, basically. Do the walk on. I did actually with Boise State University. I got on there. I got there on before the summer. Was ending. What I'm saying, I got a chance to actually practice. I did for defense. I was a backup for corner, and I played a little bit as free safety. But also, I was on special teams. So, was out there, running. Got like ran back a touchdown for like 60 yards. But just I did a little stuff. Just the experience because a lot of times football in this area. Like DMV area is mostly in the East Coast is more basketball. I mean, they got football players too that come from here, locals. You can see, but at the end of the day, you had like LeVar Arrington, people like that, who
For
came from here.
sure.
That even Sean Merriman, you probably heard. I went to school. I was in ninth grade when he
Yep.
was 11th grade, and I met him before and even played basketball with him, when I was like 8th grade because we had, like PE and stuff like that. So, we played against people that actually, hit that league, was in the league for real, like real talk, in the league before they got to the league.
For
So,
sure. Hey, so now so we're gonna jump into your traveling bug. I know you was talking about your pops, when he was, you seen it and you wanted to do it. So what was your first place you went to? What was the first place you went to if you consider traveling? And then what was your first place you went to outside of the U.S.?
my first place, because I never really did like the U.S. territories, like some people have probably done to, start off, the beginner stage. I kind of
Yeah.
really jumped right into it with a group of people that wanted to travel in the last 3 years. So the one guy, I'm gonna just term him as El Presidente. He's traveled for years, so he's been doing this thing for the last 12 years, and he's done his stuff. He knows his stuff. And we have our disagreements, but he knows his stuff. So and I got a homeboy named, I'm calling him Al. Al, he's traveled a little bit, U.S. territory and outside the country. He's been in like DR and he went to Colombia all together on the trip. So we all
Awesome.
doing our thing, having a good time, and really really enjoying the experience of what the culture from Colombia was like. Something
Yeah.
I've never experienced before. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Hey, so you had it lucky. So you went with some guys that kept you shielded from all the from all the bad stuff, from all the crazy stuff that go on. So we're gonna jump into. You said we'll jump into Brazil. You know what I mean? So like Brazil, me, um, I think me coming to Mexico, just so everybody know, I've been here almost 8 years, and I just dove right in, man. I'm from New York, so, but I just, I've been a traveler and I've been doing my thing. But me, I was hearing guys talk about Mexico. I moved from the East Coast to get to the West Coast, and then I was trying to de-Americanize myself. So I think I told you about that before. De-Americanize myself. I was going to move to Mexico, get all the American ways out, and then move to Colombia and then Brazil. That was my final goal, to get to Rio de Janeiro on the beach and stuff like that.
It's good.
So, but me learning the English, me learning the Spanish, I dove straight in. I came and just jumped right off the cliff. So you going to Brazil, what was it like, man, for your first time just getting off the plane?
It was amazing, man. Like we got there kind of like late at night, so we were like there around about it was the last flight getting in actually, and it was crazy. Right when we got there, we was driving. Like the driver we had for Uber showed us um where the Christ Redeemer was at, showing us at night and stuff, pointing up there, the favelas. Say we always watch, tell you watch out. Those give you warning because the favelas ain't no joke, and
Mm-hmm.
some other places, we saw some people talking about some food places would be good. So when we got us to our Airbnb, we were like pretty much a block away from the beach. Like, we were probably like 10 minutes away from Ipanema Beach, like walking, driving wise, but it wasn't bad, man. It was really a good experience, going walking you see so many people who were like, just enjoying each other, respecting their parent, their kids, respecting the people who that elders, like you have parents walking hand in hand with their adult children. It was just like something you saw in the Black community back in the day. Probably, I'm not
Yeah.
saying it don't still happen, but it's just the number of people I saw really showing that type of togetherness, that family unity was real strong. That joint kind of had me overwhelmed because I'm like, man, I haven't seen that since I was younger and stuff.
Yeah,
So
so it's like a time warp. It just takes you back to when your grandparents were still alive. With the
yeah,
respect, it's yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am type thing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
That's
you
how
saw
it is.
you saw people like 30, 40, almost 50 years old with their parent who was old. You could tell they was older, and they walking with them like hand in hand, or even just like arm in arm, just doing
Yeah.
stuff. Like it was just like wow, man.
Hey, so for the people getting off that never been there, um, what did you say? What did you think about the transportation? What you think is the safest goal? What did your guys that you was with? What did they do? What did they tell you what to do when it comes to transportation when you're getting off the plane?
Well, I've traveled like at least a few times before. I went to Brazil recently,
Okay.
so we kind of all agreed that it would be like best to travel, Uber. They had
Yeah.
a couple other transportations, like you could do a bus if you know how to get to certain areas, but we ain't try to do the bus. We did taxi, but they, people feel like taxi, you could get ripped off. Be real with you, like, if you get the wrong
Yep.
taxi, it might try to take you longer to make you have to pay out more. Yeah, I've ran into a couple of people that put me on to one other transportation spot. It was like I can't remember the name on top of my head, but it was like something similar to what Lyft was, but it was like the local local Lyft, basically we'll call it, for Brazil.
Yep. So I'm gonna give you a little quick story. My first day coming over here, the cab driver charged me $10 to go down to Central. And all I had to do was they wait for you when you get off the border. When you cross the border, the yellow is like they call them the gypsy cabs. They like the bootleg cab drivers. So they'll wait for you as soon as you come across the border. And he charged me $10. He drove me all around the border when I could have walked across the bridge and went down to the border and got there in 4 minutes myself. But you not being in the country, you don't know that. So you're still green around the gills and you respect that cab driver. So now for me, if they're not signs up, this is for you guys. Do they have local signs up for taxis and how much the fares are in front of the airports and in front of the taxi stations out in Brazil?
They definitely did, but why do you have people trying to hustle? They you know how they get the hustlers and stuff, but it was cool. You definitely had like signs, I would say a little better than what when I went to Colombia, because Colombia, you know, they have certain areas you can find places, but other times you would have to probably ask somebody like who's from there, to try to figure out where a certain place is at. You ain't gonna find this off the top of your head, because even a GPS or even on your phone, it'll give you the location, but not the exact location.
Okay. Hey, so now what about the hotels? Did you do an Airbnb or are you an Airbnb guy or the hotel guy? How was the hotels and Airbnbs out there? The situation, the living situation, what's that like?
I'll be honest with you, my first trip I did straight hotels. Like I went to Colombia 3 times. I did straight hotels because it was my experience, like the best experience I can say, doing with, because Airbnbs I never done overseas. I tried it, but my first time ever with Brazil, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I would recommend somebody not to really do it unless you get, recommend some type of recommendation from somebody who has boots on ground or knows what they're doing.
Because I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna enlighten them on this. Because if you get an Airbnb in the area you know nothing about, it could be a bad situation for you. Because you in the middle of the night, you can't go out and get nothing from the store. And this is the number one. This is the number one, people. Number one, go safety, safety, safety. Us being black, we was born with antennas and our toes 10 down. If you don't see no lights, you don't see no people, it's a bad situation for you right off top, especially when you're in a foreign country also. You know what I mean? So the Airbnbs, if you don't know the location, if somebody ain't put you onto the location, I recommend you not to go to an Airbnb where you don't know nothing about or you don't know the neighborhood, because it can end up bad for you. Correct?
Yeah, you're right, man. Because we was up there. The Airbnb was a good location though. Like he was definitely right about his location where he was at. I mean, we were a block away from the beach. Everything was good until certain things dealing with like the room, like the bathroom. Some stuff didn't work. My friend's bathroom, he actually had a problem. The guy named Al, he's a little younger than me. He had an issue where the second night he was there, it wasn't. We got there at nighttime, going to the morning. So you're not gonna, we're tired. So we kind of went to sleep, woke up. So the next morning he woke up, he saw his bed, looked at his bed sheets. They were like, he had stains on it. And what's crazy about it, some countries, I guess they do certain things a certain way. You know, they have a certain not policy, but cultural concept. They do stuff. It's pretty much like, like you're not gonna put no, newer sheets or something. I mean, I understand you might wash them, but newer sheets. I mean, you have people who's coming to, stay there. You're supposed to, accommodate. And we're on vacation. You know what I'm saying? We also, you know, trying to find places. It wasn't that bad. It was just the fact that like we had a food spot right a block away. Actually, it was less than a block away, right, from the Airbnb. But it was just like, minor stuff like that kind of made it a little bit challenging to do an Airbnb. But I mean, if you like Airbnbs, all for it. But if you don't, I would recommend like definitely a hotel, or even what's the other spot, or something else. Basically, what makes you feel comfortable.
Okay. So, another thing too, as far as when you go to these other foreign countries, I always say you got to drop your expectations. You're used to these beautiful hotels over here, these beautiful bathrooms. All that is out the window when you go to these foreign countries. Bathroom systems, the plumbing, everything's all bad. So just so you guys that know, if you're a drama queen, I mean beauty queen, and you like 4 stars and 5-star accommodations, it's not gonna happen, not unless you're paying top dollar when you go to these other foreign countries and stuff like that. Correct?
You're right, man. I agree with you 100%, man. Like you just can't like when I went to Colombia, man, that was an interesting experience because the only problem I had with Colombia with my room one time was the AC. The AC, my knob or so broke and I got sick. And I got
Okay.
sick around the 5th or 6th day because what it was, it took them like 4 days to get to me. By the 5th day, they was able to fix my AC because you couldn't even like you say like push the button and try to change the setting. You couldn't even change it
Uh-huh.
for like get low or turn it off. I was like, oh man. So if I'm having company or female over and we're chilling, and say she went to go take a shower, just to, from dancing, we out there in the out about. It's warm sometimes at night in Colombia, and she want to take a shower, get herself cleaned up. They got the AC pumping. So,
Yeah.
it's just, you catch a cold, and I caught one. Oh, my first time traveling out the country, it was crazy. I was like, come on, man. Like this is the wrong time to get sick halfway through the trip. But
Yeah.
I still made my trip, what it was, and it still was good at the end of the day. I cannot
Okay.
complain.
Yep. No doubt. So, I've always seen the Brazilian food on TV, man, and it looks amazing. I had a couple of Brazilian dishes. How was the food over there, man?
Oh man, I took some pictures of my food when I went on a few dates with some females I knew through a buddy of mine who, I got a chance to finally meet some of these, a few females I knew. Went to some nice restaurants. We went to like a nice little steak chicken restaurant. I went to this one restaurant that was like on the second or third floor of a building. Man, it was like almost a rooftop. This joint the food was so good, man. I mean, it filled me up. Like it was weird when you're in America, our food's got like chemicals in it, and stuff. So, it makes you feel like you got to eat more. But when I'm overseas, I'll lose about 3, 4, 5 pounds eating. It's crazy because their food, I guess, is more natural, but at the same time,
Every,
I'm just, I can tell I might eat 2 meals out of the whole day. I don't need no snack or nothing. I'm good.
everything's real. It's all we pay for organic over here, and the organic over to them over there is natural. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I paid 10 pesos for a big white onion over there in San Diego. They're $1.50. You know,
It's
you know what I
crazy.
mean. So that just like the salad is on another level. I don't need no dressing. I don't need no nothing. The tomatoes, the lettuce, everything tastes different because it's raised with dirt. That magical thing called dirt on the farm. With
Exactly, man. You're right.
so it's natural, man. So what was all right, so what was like some of did you try the street food? And I see the street food on Brazil all the time. A lot of the street food. Are you a street food guy? Did you get any of
Um,
the street food down there, or you just
I
stick to the
did
restaurants?
I did restaurants halftime, but I did when I went on like a little date or whatever. Like the girl, her name Isadora. I've been knowing her for like 3 years. When we went out little date, we went to like this little place called it says like Asia, like a little like their little like their little fruit smoothie drink, of the
Uh-huh.
country. And man, that joint when she got it made, she paid for it too. I was like, oh, okay. So she paid for it, and I ate it. She was feeding it to me, and I mean, I never had no female off the break that said, "Hey, I'm gonna feed this to you," and it was like this.
Yeah.
And wipe my mouth. I'm like, man, like had me up break a tear out here. I was like, man, make me feel special at this joint. Like, damn, I get that type of treatment at home. Even when you do it right, you don't get that treatment at home. So
Yeah.
it was funny, man, because I was really like, man, that food was so healthy, man. Like, I don't know the taste. I mean, I'll be honest with you, like when you get older, you know how some foods like affect you when you get older. It's crazy because when I ate there, I felt more energy. Like I felt like I was starting my 30s, and that's how crazy it was because I was low 200s when I was in my beginning of my 30s. But when eating healthy, man, I probably could stay there for like less than 6 months and been down weight and back to where I was at. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
Hey, so now we're gonna get to it. What about? I don't drink or smoke, but I love to dance, man. So, you know what I mean? What about the nightlife out there? The
Oh,
clubs, you
nightlife.
know?
Yeah, nightlife, man. That was it was okay. I went out to maybe like 2 clubs when we was out there up in, Brazil. My buddies went out more, but see, I had like, company, so I was going out. We was going to like certain restaurants or little bars and stuff like that. And the bars were chill, I get a little drink, you get like, the Brazilian beer. I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, they, the girls, I'm gonna tell you something, man, they could drink, drinking beer
Oh,
ain't nothing.
yeah, foreign women can drink you right under the table if you're not careful, man.
No, you're
Because
right about that.
you got to realize they start when they young, bro. Over this is why I love Mexico because it's like a time warp back to like when John Gotti and the mafia was running the country, bro. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So like they still have 40s in the bar, they smoking weed in the bar, playing pools, smoking cigarettes here, and you can be the girls can be 16 in the bars drinking. So like
Mm.
when I go to them type of clubs, I just stay away because it's just too dangerous. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Everybody
it's
drinking
filthy, man.
the local gangsters is all in there, so I stay away from places like that. But yeah. So how was the music? So like, is it good? Like, do they play our music, reggaeton? How's the music scene in Brazil, basically?
Music scenes like samba, like you say, you have like if we was hoping to go to Salvador Bahia, but we didn't get a chance to. But it was good. It was good music. We went to a club called Ventry. They had some bad females up in there. Like they even had a
Hmm.
rapper who's like I guess his name I can't remember the name on top of my head, but he's a North rapper up in north of Rio de Janeiro, in
Hmm.
Brazil, and the dude came and did a live performance. Like right before the joint was closing up. He was there for like 30 minutes doing a live performance of his like I guess hits, hit music, Latin songs or whatever, man. This dude had the crowd going crazy. They had the phones up like, yo, they just it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like you had chicks looking at you, you had, you have your girls that probably, doing a little side stuff, whatever you want to call it, but them it was regular chicks in there having a good time. You go up to them, saying you speak a little bit Portuguese or you even speak a little English or do a little interpreter, Google, the Google translator on the phone, and y'all up
Hmm.
there dancing, and they dancing on you. I mean, I was having a great time, man. Like that was so good, man. I mean, the food, the little appetizers, the food, drinks, women were dancing, everybody was having a good time.
No doubt. Hey, so far as the language, like I don't, it's Portuguese. I learned through Google Translator through women. Um, when you have a conversation, that's how I learned my Spanish through through WhatsApp, the texting. I learned 85% of my Spanish through that because you sit and you look at the conversation, you look at the text words, so you can see it a lot. How was the Portuguese language over there? How did you learn it?
I learned, I'm like still a beginner, but I learned like, certain phrases like como vos está, like, boa noite, like good night, bom dia, that's good morning. I learned stuff like that. And before I went over there, just to, see, ask about restaurant, I asked about, different things, how to ask for water, ask for, get alcohol or drink, we was, doing certain things. I mean, my friends, we all had a little issue a little bit, but it wasn't too bad though.
Hmm.
I had a little bit of conversation here and there, but it was, good enough where, hey, it made the trip, worth it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. So
No doubt.
I'm still trying
Hey,
to
so
learn more.
yeah, so you learn that you learn that just the conversational, just enough of conversation, basically.
Yeah, like short conversation and,
Yeah,
having a
you
great
work
time,
you
man.
work from there. So I love salsa dancing, man, and the reggaeton. Is it different than over there? Is the salsa? I don't know if you've been. Have you been to like yeah, you've been to Colombia. So is the salsa and the reggaeton? Is the dancing different than in Brazil?
I would say Brazil has it more passionate. Like Brazil's dancing, you can tell when a chick goes. Like I seen them, they be really going. Like in Colombia, it's they dance, but it's more like I guess they kind of like do what we do a little bit in the clubs, but they'll
Hmm.
dance though. They'll dance on you. It's no like, no look at you. Like, how you in the club and girls get that like, like it's kind of like that, what's that, show, like, not The Price is Right, but what was that show when they do like the questions and stuff and you get like timed on it, they trying to figure out should I dance with them or not. it's not like no hesitation when you are out there dancing. You know what I'm saying? It's more like we going with the flow. Let's have a good
Yeah.
time. You know, not no giving you weird looks and stuff. It's like everybody having a good time. That's all it is.
And and the ice just for you guys, just for you guys that's green around the gills, the ultimate icebreaker is dancing. If you know salsa, the ultimate icebreaker is dancing. If you don't, she don't have to know what language you speak. If you can dance, if you could dance to their music, they don't. You don't even have to speak. You know what I mean? All you got to do is just dance, and you can create chemistry that way by just dancing. That's what I learned through the years here. And and the women see you could dance. That's half the battle right there.
Man,
If
you're
they can
right,
see you
man.
dance to their music, is that am I correct on that or what?
No, you're right, man. I see it even when I've gone to some clubs in my local area. There's a place called Bravo Bravo. My friend's gone to. I seen like on video. I'm gonna try to go sometime this year, but they do the same thing. If you dance and you know how to dance salsa, bachata, oh my god, man, you're gonna get a lot of play. That's what I'm gonna tell you. It ain't gonna be
Yep.
no issues, no questions asked, no question asked. I'll tell you.
Yep. So if you need to, learn your Spanish dancing, your bachata, the reggaeton, the salsa. And I like the banda. I like banda too, but it's just too strong for my ears. So I only go with the chick I'm with. If I'm with her, I go for a half an hour. Then we got to switch back to the reggaeton side. You know what I mean? So I'll go just to support her, just to make her feel like I'm trying to learn their culture, and that's important too. The Spanish culture, whatever country you go to, if you try to learn their language, they'll respect you even more just for you trying to learn their culture. It means a lot to them when you try to learn and you put in the effort to learn. You know what I mean?
No, you're right, man. I agree with you, man. You're definitely right because I know a girl told me when I was down in Colombia on my second trip that I met real cool chick. She was from Venezuela, and she thought it was real cool that I was knowing some type of Spanish. I wasn't up there just saying it to say it. I was trying to learn stuff. Her friend liked me. It was just the flow was so good. It felt like it was so natural. Like where you got
Yep.
dating nowadays in our country is a little bit like imbalanced. It's not how you say it's not consistent. You know what I'm saying? It's gotten like a little bit away from where what we used to be doing back 30 40 years ago. Now we got but it's cool that when you get foreign going to a foreign country, it gives you it's refreshing. It's like a fresh
Mhm.
breath air. It's like man, I ain't gonna lie, I had a tear come in my eye, man, when I was about to leave. That's how bad it was. And I don't
Yeah.
cry. That's the thing.
Yep.
Like,
And
you know what I'm saying? Like you got a
that's
grown
that-
man feeling like, dang, man, I'm missing this, and I gotta go back to the
that's
same
a good
old
trip.
craziness. It's like, come on, man. You're gonna really have a different perspective on, how you interact with somebody nowadays. Like you're gonna really have a different, mindset. It's gonna be crazy. Like you're gonna be like, wow. And I mean, you got brothers always saying it when they're online, saying, hey, I'm getting, I miss it. Like it's like, it's like almost a homesickness to them. That's what they say. That's what I heard from other brothers. So it's crazy.
Yep. And that's what me too. I can't go back to the US not unless it's somewhere where it's gonna be where it's no winter. And I would love to go. My next place is probably Canada because I've been to Canada. Canada is absolutely beautiful, bro. It's amazing. But hey, so now what we're gonna get to is what the fellas want to know. You know what I mean? This is we on the golden goose right now. So to me, I think the Brazilian women are the most beautiful women in the world, bro. Far as body wise, far as just the exotic look. I'm into the dark skinned women. I'm into that peanut butter, that peanut butter color type women, with the long slinky hair like a slinky, the oily black hair. So I'm not a really I'm into the paisanos. Or that's what we call it. That's what they call them. The light skin. Here they got like the white Mexicans, and the girls try to stay white. I don't really understand that. When it's real hot out, they have an umbrella on, trying to keep their white skin. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
whitewashing, man. They up
Yeah,
there.
I don't get that. But over there, how is them women, man?
I'll be
You,
honest with you,
you,
like they naturally, they do a lot of tanning. So they go like the tanning, like tanning place salons and all that stuff. Because you always see like that I call it the Brazilian signature or Portuguese signature look for the women, where they get those tans with like the bikini tans.
Yeah.
They always stand out, man. Like, even women who are like brown skin, making themselves like darker brown, or you got women who are, brown skin going darker. They enjoy their culture, their color. Now I ain't gonna lie to you, now you do still have that, that brainwashed mindset where, it's still like, we're kind of like dealing with like this, the race of like, color of
Of
like, white and
of
black,
course, of
you
course.
still see that. I think that's a global thing. Regardless, I tell people who I had a conversation with, or they'll elect about it. At the end of the day, you're never gonna get rid of it. You may be able to like keep it under control to a certain degree, but you're never gonna get rid of something like that. So that's a whole different subject or different situations. But the people out there love. I can tell they love their culture, so and definitely love their color. Like the ones who I met. So.
Hey, so another thing too is you being black over there, and we were just getting to that. How do they treat the black men over there as you being foreigners, and how's like how does the women accept you? Do they see you as an ATM over there, or do the women, accept you for who you are, and or you will come up and they trying to get to the US? How's the women treat y'all over there at the dating scene? Like, how do you
Well,
feel?
I feel like this: if you have, you're going to prove yourself as a man. Like any type of woman, a woman you meet, if you feel like that's the right woman, you're going to prove. You're going to make. You're going to try to do changes on your own as a man, straight up. If that's the right woman you're meeting out there, right? But when you out there, a lot of guys are out there. When I was out there, you could tell that if you're a black man, you're gonna get looks, opportunity. You'll have a girl come up to you and say, "Oh my god, ooh, negro, oh my goodness, negro, ooh," like they look, or they might come by and give me a touch. I had a girl who, when I walked past her, grabbed my hand, and I didn't even like realize. I was like, oh, okay, caught me off guard. And then when I was with a girl, you had girls looking at me when I was with, a Brazilian chick, and we were just out there having a good time. And you could tell when, brother, if you're a black man, you will definitely get looks. You will definitely get even talked to. They'll come up to you sometimes. It's more like attention they're giving you, like, how it should be. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna treat like a king going over there, almost. I'm not saying, it's gonna happen for everybody. If you go
Yeah,
out there looking like, out of shape and all this stuff, and you expecting to get the same type of treatment, that's out of pocket. I'm gonna be
yeah.
real. I work out.
Especially their culture over there. Them women stay in the gym, man. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They pride themselves on working out, being in the gym, looking good, man.
Oh yeah,
You know?
I can tone that because I went to the gym like every other day. I was going to different spots. Me and my buddy had made a bet. He was about if I was gonna go work out, and I was working out every other day. I go to a different was it like it's a gym over there they call what's the name of it? It's like a Vibrant or something type gym, and they all around in parts of South America. They're known, so you just go to them joints because I'm in the system. I just went up there, they put my name in, and then you just pay like a little fee, and you're in there working out, and you got like men and women. I see probably close to like 40, 50, at least 40 some percent of women in the gym, almost half the gym with women in there, and they working out. They doing like, we ain't talking about like no workouts that people just try to get themselves. But we talking about workouts that you see them Instagram models, they be trying to fake doing. These girls really be doing it. We ain't talking about like,
Yeah,
they out there squatting with a 45
yeah,
plate. They up here. I had spotted a girl, a chick that was like, she would be considered like an eight something, maybe in her country, but in our country, she might be like a 9.
yeah.
She out there was working out, and you had people who was, guys in this, working out. I worked out with some dude gave me dap. Like, I like that. I was doing 225. I put on there. I was repping. I did about 6 to 8 reps, and he was like, oh, I like that. He dapped me up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
respect, and it was like, I was like, oh, okay. I was squatting in there. I was doing different stuff. You had people looking at you when you're looking at them, you're doing your stuff. Me and my buddy Al, went to the gym together, and he ran into a girl he booked also out there. I mean, the girl, he was trying to get play with her. It was a little bit, cultural, language barrier, you say, for him, but the dude still, try to make it, try to make it work and try to make it happen. I mean, he didn't get a number, but he still got play. It wasn't like, he got dissed or anything. He still got play though at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's what's up. Yeah, I see them all the time. So another thing too, I wanted to ask you is, what's the baddest hustle? Like I know here in Mexico, This always comes up. The women hustle you and try to get you for money. Did they get you over there? What was some of the biggest what the fellas need to watch out for and the ladies that's traveling? What was the biggest hustles over there? The biggest schemes over there that they try to hit you with? Because over here we think we the fastest. We think we slick. We ain't got nothing on the foreign countries because they gotta eat. They always thinking of ways to get you. What was the best? What was the things you got to look out for when you go over there, as far as being scammed?
I only saw maybe one or two things because I mean, I guess they kind of trying to clean it up because you gotta watch out for like when you got the mothers out there trying to say my children, we haven't ate nothing and I saw it I saw with my own eyes like even the restaurant, how we do if a homeless person's come up to a restaurant, they tell them get out of there, get off the establishment or the property. Over there, they'll even like it was crazy about it. They had a homeless dude. He said he probably was a little crazy. He pretty much came up there. Even the people at the table who he came up to, gave him leftover food they weren't going to eat, and they gave him a box. Like they literally put into a box, gave him a to-go box, gave him a drink, asked him what kind of drink he wanted, and gave him a straw, and gave him two drinks, actually one or two drinks, and gave him a straw, and then he went on his way. It was no type of craziness. He just walked away. You know how you might get somebody who be like trying to run up on you and stuff. Somebody might say, "Hey, I'm trying to sell something." Little kids, you might say, "Hey, I buy that from you," and it might be like a little cheap. I said, I always negotiate with them, and I give them something like, "Here you go, we do that." Boom. And they're like, "Thank you, the obrigada," obrigada. So they be like,
Uh-huh.
and thank you, and then they just go on their way. If you tell them no. Tell them no. Now you have your chicks that might be like I think when I was over there, me and my friend was eating, and a girl came up to us that said that she does drawings or illustrations and for books, and I was like, well, I only got like I think I had like $1 or two. She said what my friend said and he was gonna give her something, but I guess he held back from doing it. She said, what's that gonna do? $1. I was like, dang, like you acting like you bougie out here. I was like, oh. Even he was like, he said he was caught up going like, why is she acting like she bougie on the joint? Like it was just like you get different people, you run into. Like some people are very humble, and other ones it's just got that mindset. They hustle, they need more than that. They want you to buy it, like buy. Instead of just you saying, hey, here you go, this is what I can do, best I can do for you, bam. I'm on
No
vacation.
doubt. No doubt. Hey, so now we're gonna go on the do's and the don'ts. So what would you tell the people too now that you've been over to Brazil? How long and now that you've been over there? So the best thing to not to do when you're over there to prepare yourself for the things that you need to watch out for when you go over there.
Definitely, I'm gonna tell you, always make sure you prep yourself about um with getting your money straight. That's like top three to me. Knowing from traveling now and talking with some guys who's about a little bit older than me, probably about close to your age group a little bit. I know I'm like late 30s, but and even around my age group or so, we all talk about it, is like, they tell me you want to probably try to go to the banks, maybe get like a little bit of some money before you go over, because let's say we had a situation where we got there later at night than what we're supposed to. We can't go change the money out. So, and then the airports, some of those places at the airports, so you can do, money exchange, you can't do it. So foreign exchange. So me and my buddies, we decided to get like a few $100s before exchange before we went on our trip. I did mine like less than 3 weeks before. I mean, one of my buddies did it a month before, but I had about maybe four or five, probably $400 or less than 500 that I exchanged out. So when I went over there, I had money already on me. I didn't have to worry about going to the exchange places and trying to find one. Actually, it was a little bit harder finding one when I was over there than I expected. It was
Uh-huh.
crazy. It was like 3 blocks away from me. So I was doing a lot of walking, man. I walked so much. I know I think I lost 5 or 6, 7 pounds when I was over there because I did so much walking up and down and what I'm saying, like, just trying to get the money or so. And then, I would say knowing where you want to eat at, because some, they different on that on their hygiene or so with certain things. So you gotta be, very, understanding on that, or resilient on that, because I'm gonna be honest with you, if you don't, try to like make sure you know where you're going, man, you can go to the wrong place and you might get food poisoning. I don't know, but you gotta watch out where you go. Definitely want to ask around. I would say don't be like also knowing where you can go in the club at. Like what's a good spot to go. Ask around before you even go up there. Like, try to get boots on the ground for somebody else to say, hey, you've been to Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. Hey, can you tell me, some spots out there? We did that. Make sure you're not carrying too much clothes with you. That's another one. You know what I'm saying? And also, knowing what kind of flight you want to get with, because every flight ain't always the perfect flight going overseas. So you want to make sure who you flying with. I'll be honest with you. Like, I had Delta. I ain't gonna lie, that was really a good flight. American, I'm gonna be honest, they dropped off, in my opinion, in the last 4 years since I've been traveling. And because I had a situation where I traveled overseas to Colombia, and man, we missed out on 2 full days, 2.5 days.
Ooh.
That was crazy. My first time going to a foreign country. Well, it was, you don't want to go cheap on your flight if you don't have to, but we did that. Me and my buddy Al, he convinced me about it, saying, hey, this is a good flight. It seemed like we can leave around this time. I wanted to leave on Friday because I had to, work or so. So what I did, I made sure I could leave and go do that. And when I did that, I just was gone for like a good, maybe like 8-9 days. Pretty much when I left, we got to New York, like the JFK. That was probably the worst. I'd say New York probably the worst place to go trying to do a connection flight. I would never recommend somebody do New York. This is my opinion. But the pros of it, when you flying, you get like, nice accommodations. Sometimes you might get hooked up with the hotels if you find a good hotel out there. Those hotels, man, they can really like make your trip. It can make or break your trip, in my opinion. But and also, definitely, going to events out there. They had I don't know if you ever heard this guy in Brazil. He came to Brazil and the time we was there. His name Alok. He's like a DJ, I guess. I guess he's a little bit like a really big, performer. This dude probably had more people coming to his event than Beyonce. That's how big he was. This dude had the whole beach shut down. That's how big he was. Like, I'm like, man, that's a big beach in Rio. To shut it down to do a performance, and he was performing in the rain. That's the crazy thing about it. We were thinking like, how can he, how would the equipment stay dry? I'm like just trying to, we was all flabbergasted. This dude, we up there eating, we watching a line of people go all the way across. It's crazy, just waiting to get on the beach to hear him play. This is like a day before I'm about to leave. I mean, you also want to make sure you you have security with your where you stay at, because that's really important, because you never know, you might pick up the wrong, you might get a chick out there, she come in your spot, she you never want to get caught up in something, and nobody knows that, hey, she was there. I mean, you gotta realize that's on you. That's accountability on you. If you bring her there. I never had that issue because I vet the chick who I talked to, and I feel comfortable with it. So I don't be put in those situations where somebody like comes to my spot and then they caught me off guard because I was I'm lacking. I'm up here not thinking they're a chick from another country. I don't look down on somebody. I know it can happen.
Yep.
So, and having the brothers that's probably old as me or older, and they probably wishing that they could have, went back in time, took that back, and did a different method or different way of doing what they were doing, interaction with that person. But sometimes you get caught up because you're having a really good time. But I still bring myself back down to reality. Hey, I can't do this type of stuff, and be smart about what I'm doing. And definitely don't just take any type of transportation anywhere if I've never been before. That's bad, because you do that, you might get stopped by being a taxi, the wrong taxi you should never got into, and then the cops or some type of favela gang, say, hey, yo, we're robbing you, saying, give us what you got. You ain't gonna be able to do nothing. You want to just give it up to them. Saying, you can still replace it, but at the end of the day, I know you're gonna be a little bit in some trouble. But that's what the best thing about the pros, you still have like the embassy, the U.S. embassy there. So if you have to go there, I heard stories that they do stuff halftime they don't, but they can still give you basic, let's say a basic needs, essential stuff you might need. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay, that's good to know. And what are a couple of things that'll help you?
Help me on. I mean like information wise.
Yeah.
As
far as Brazil, the things, if you knew a couple of things, if you knew when you was there before you left, if you knew these things, it would have made your trip better. What would be those couple of things?
I definitely wish I had known what would probably be the best spot to stay at. Like the spot I was at was okay, but I'm saying like we'll do it more with a hotel or somebody maybe talk to somebody. Like I found out when we went to this restaurant called Gringos. It's a really nice restaurant. It's like it serves American food halftime and Brazilian food. I mean, food was banging. Like I give it a 9 out of 10. Not gonna lie to you. But I wish I'd known that was the best hotel to stay at. Like would have better to stay at like the Hilton there, would have been stay at this place, that place. Making sure I knew where the best place to get the rate at for my currency. Because when you run out of money, you gotta get the money exchange. I had to go like 3 different current places, the currency foreign exchange places. And be honest with you, I'm gonna be real with you, like 2 of them were terrible. Like they were kind of ripping me off, but see, the problem was I didn't know where else to go because the place was around the way where I was at. But then I found one from a taxi, one of those Uber drivers, sorry. And pretty much he gave me the spot, saying he dropped me off right in front of the place. They gave me a good, good rate, and I was going there. It was like 3 or 4 blocks away from where I was staying at. So it wasn't too bad. And also I would say, knowing where probably like the best gym at to meet women if I could, stuff like that. Have a good time like that. But and find out more where the clubs were at. Like, because I know Brazil's a little different from Colombia with their clubs. Like, Colombia, it's like, the wall city. So you can just walk to different, clubs, like right across the street from each other or something, right next to each other. You walking so much easy walking distance. You ain't walking like probably less than 10 steps.
Okay.
In Brazil, I mean, it's like you got to know where to go because, Brazil's so huge, it's so large. You know what I'm saying? You got to find out. We went somewhere near where the favelas was at. The club called Ventry. That was nice, but it was out there like, them favela dudes, they be out there. So you got to move out there. I was casually dressed up. I didn't have no jewelry on, nothing stupid. Also, that's another con. Never have something that you don't want to take it from you. That's what I'm gonna say. That's why I say don't ever wear something like this is something that that if it happened in our country, you should never definitely. I think it's 2 times, the 3 or 4 times, 5 times worse to do it in a foreign country where they struggling and you up there wearing, you flossing out. Don't listen to those dudes that out there with the bad messages, the bad messages, bad videos I call them, or ignorant videos where you got somebody showing off like jewelry, talking about, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, you with an entourage, you with security you pay for. You put out big money before you came over there. You gotta tell people that. Don't be lying about it and saying like, oh yeah, man, you can do this, you can wear this, I'm wearing this. Yeah, you got like a half football team with you, a security dude. So what you expecting? They're gonna run up on you, but it's still a bullet, a bullet don't have no name. So let's keep 100, man. Like you can get taken out by the smallest looking dude with a gun and get robbed. Yeah. So he pistol whoop you, but you gotta realize I don't really wear no jewelry unless maybe a watch, but it's a cheap watch so I can tell time. That's it. Nothing, I'm not bringing with attention to myself. I'm up there blending in. Like I remember one time somebody thought I was a foreign dude from Ethiopia or from a different part of South America when I was in Colombia. They thought when they got close, they said, "Oh, he's American." Like they didn't even know. From a distance, they thought it was a regular dude, but when they got close, they said, "Oh, he's American." So it was funny because the fact that I blended in. So you gotta be smart. You gotta use common sense when you're out there traveling. That's just my opinion.
No doubt. But so and you want to tell the future fan base anything before we go, man? Remember we're gonna put up all your receipts, your videos, and your photos on the Travel and the Culture page. It's on Facebook. Travel and the Culture Podcast TV is on Instagram also. So KC will be putting up some photos just so you can, some video so you can see his footage live on the Travel and the Culture page on Facebook and on Instagram. So he ain't half stepping or he ain't fronting. So you know what I mean. But anything you got anything popping, man? Any businesses you got going on?
Just doing like a little bit just a little bit of investing, but hopefully I'm doing more investing next year. I'm just trying to get certain things done, school wise, and then also trying to get things done with trying to do maybe get a better job hopefully, and by next year a lot of things are changing, and doing also some other things that we'll try to be traveling hopefully next by next year and around fall of like to Thailand I'm hoping to do. So that's the situation that I'm trying to do, and just trying to get stuff done at the end of the day. And also I'm hoping that we can make our group bigger, and I'm also hoping to get my own YouTube channel started, Black Kings of DMV. Check it out. Definitely want to do more collabs with my man, traveling the culture. Saying good down to earth dude, doing with. So make more content and try to educate brothers on doing things that will be better to improve.
No doubt, man.
Improve the traveling experience.
That's right. You know what I mean? So remember, traveling the culture is for us, to put the good light on the traveling, the everything, the food, the culture, the women, the vacation spots, the hotels. So we flipping it up, we doing it the good side. And we're gonna have some other guys come on that tell the other side. This is the culture part where when you don't do the right things and you go down the wrong paths and you go to jail and what their experiences was like, and then when they come home and do something good with themselves, So we gonna have the education on both sides, so the youngsters can see what can happen to you if you don't go on the right path, man. You know what I mean? So at this episode number 3, Gainesville 100 and my man KC. So the episode will be airing maybe another week from now. Every week I'm gonna air a new episode out, man. So I had a great time with you, my brother, and I can't wait till we get on again.
I appreciate the opportunity, man. Definitely making, helping with your channel and making it, bigger so grow, and educating brothers about, how to travel, how to do certain things in another country. I wish I had this back when I was, coming up myself. What I'm saying? Somebody, teaching. I know a lot of times the stuff was made on low, under the table, not on the table, but like more, behind the scenes, brothers traveling and they just get, share information at the barbershop or doing what they do. But at the end of the day, I really think it's really good, educational to help, brothers to be able to move better and not, draw that attention to themselves and bring a positive light to, black man traveling.
That's what's up, man. Yes. And if you guys, this is for you guys out there, these travelers that see the videos, y'all want to share your stories with us. Pretty soon we're gonna do call-ins and we're gonna do live guest chats pretty soon on the air live. Call-ins and we're gonna do guest chats live. We got 4 or 5 guys on debating about a country or a place at one time. So if you guys got a story, y'all been traveling around the world and y'all got a lot of countries y'all been to, and y'all want to share them with us, just hit me down at the channel or send me a message, man, and we'll link up. All right, Travel and the Culture Podcast TV. We out. Peace.
Peace.